Well, folks, this is like almost like hitting the trifecta to have the pizza guy in the room with Sherry Jackson, a legend, and Joe Bannister. These are the guys that used to knock your door off your hinges if you didn't pay your income taxes, folks. I'm telling everybody this is a bogus, entity. These guys figured it out. Obviously, when Joe figured it out, said, "Shit, I ain't doing this." Meanwhile, he's the guy. If he's knocking on your door, you're staring down the barrel of collecting illegal taxes for an illegal mafia organization that was handed over a franchise illegally by the U.S. government, and you guys are paying for it, and none of the taxes are going to the United States of America. But before we get started, folks, make sure you hit the pause button. Okay, go down below. There's a Rumble link. Go over to Rumble and follow us over there. QFS1776.com is without question the holy grail of what's to come. Okay, t-shirts, you got to get yourself decorated. This way people will ask you, what is XRP? What is the quantum financial system? What is this? What is that? And you send them where? To QFS1776.com, where they need to immerse themselves, because we're going to burn down this system down to the ground. And out of the ashes will rise the phoenix. There'll be nothing to go back to. Believe me when I tell you that. Unified TV will take over Netflix. We're bringing in the next genre of movie producers and storytellers and actors and actresses. And we're telling the story of how the world is going to be on earth as it is in heaven. Jasara Nasara is coming. Don't make no mistake about it. Gold and silver right down below. Promo code Mel Carmine. Make sure you use the promo code. Almost $8 billion in sales. We're direct to like a bunch of mints. We are the ones that can get you the gold and silver directly to your door, okay, at the cheapest price. Don't even waste your time looking for a cheaper price. It doesn't exist. Also, our Telegram groups down below. If you want to learn what's coming and you're sort of a little scared, I understand. Believe me, I was there too at one point. Our Patriots are literally waiting for you in the room. And if you need more than $10,000 worth of XRP or $1 million worth of XRP, you come see me. Send me an email at QFS1776@gmail.com, and we'll get you as much as you want. People in such a big way. I think there's a few American people would love to squeeze you and hug you and squeeze your cheeks and give you a little kiss on the forehead. You know what I mean? Same thing with you, Jackson. I mean, look, you guys are rock stars. What you guys did, there should be a statue of you in every state, as far as I'm concerned. What you guys did is commendable on all levels. Now, the reality is, where do we go from here? Let me ask you point blank, Joe. Are you paying your income taxes? Are you in a situation where you work for a corporation still and they're taking the money out of, or are you working for yourself at this point and you're saying, screw you, I ain't paying you, it's illegal?
I'm working for myself. I have been almost exclusively since I left the IRS in 1999.
Okay.
And 1998 is the last year that I filed a federal income tax return. And it's not a screw you kind of a thing. I mean, it's looking at which, nothing against those that have that kind of an attitude. But for me, having researched the law to the best of my ability, and my ability being, a CPA for 15 years, IRS special agent, probably at least experience and training quite a bit more than the average American who has to grapple with all of these laws. And I concluded that I'm not liable to pay the federal income tax. And if I ever become liable for any federal tax, I will absolutely pay it. I've always been a sincere, honorable person. That's part of the reason I got the job at the IRS. They do a very extensive background investigation, as I'm sure they did with Sherry as well. So they already were concerned about my ethics and my integrity, and that's never changed. So anyway, so it's not a screw you if I end up owing a tax. Of course, I spent many, many years asking for them to show me. That ended up being a pivotal part of my criminal trial, which I don't know if we'll get into or not, but the IRS loves to pick off people who want to try to tell the truth. And of course, they've tried many different ways with me, but it actually became a pivotal part of my trial, just how much effort I made in trying to get them to answer my questions.
They don't like to answer questions, do they?
No, they don't.
Especially when the questions are a little bit difficult.
Yeah, I mean they're really standard questions, like show me
Show me the
show me the
law. The
law
law doesn't
as
exist. Exactly. Yeah. I'm being facetious. I'm being sarcastic. You know what I mean? But look,
yeah. Well, that's
Sherry,
famous. That's Sherry's famous line, in Freedom to Fascism. Show me the law.
exactly.
Yeah.
Sherry, what prompted you to make this new website, screw the IRS challenge.com? Okay. What is it? Or is it screw the IRS?
No, it's stick it to the IRS
See, I already changed the name.
challenge.com. Yeah. So, um, we already talked about my prison situation. So when I got out, I wrote a book called How to Stick It to the IRS. And one of my mentors said, Sherry, you just got out of prison and you got the balls to write a book called How to Stick It to the IRS. And I said, they stuck it to me. I'm sticking it back to them. So the challenge, the Stick It to the IRS challenge, is basically us pouring out our hearts about how people can maneuver their finances in a way that will have them keeping more of what they earn. I believe that 95% of the people are too afraid to just go head on and say, I'm not filing anymore. So that 95 to 99% of the people need to figure out, instead of trying to cut the head off the beast, how to starve the beast. So the Stick It to the IRS challenge, Joe's going to join me maybe a couple of those days, but we're just going to be pouring our hearts out about ways that people can keep more of what they earn.
Absolutely. It's important that we change the system that's coming. We believe is an Asara and Jasara system, which is what I teach, what I've been preaching for quite some time. And we need to grow our own food. We need to eat organic, okay? Because see, if there's a company out there that you trust, that you know for sure that this company will never, ever, under any circumstances, sell out to the New World Order or the cabal, and they're willing to give you the most organic food, well, then that's the food I want to eat. Even if it's a little bit more costly than the average, it's okay. I take this product called Purium, for example, and it is exactly just that. It's pure. It's 7 levels above what California standards are for organic. And those are some pretty stringent or organic rules and regulations that California has in place. They go above and beyond that. So if I got to pay a little bit more to stay healthy and know that I have peace of mind, isn't that worth it? So when we have our quantum summit 1776.com in Cape Canaveral on June 8th and June 9th, it's about Jasara and Nasara. It's about the growing the food. It's about the Purium product. It's about the quantum financial system, the biggest transference of wealth that's coming. Because what good is all the money in the world, as I always like to say, if you're unhealthy? Joe, you're unhealthy. It takes you 10 minutes to get out of bed. Well, every joint in your body hurts. You're miserable. Yeah, but you're worth 5 quadrillion. Take your money and stick it where the sun don't shine, baby.
No,
Tell me the thing.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, in fact, we're all, I think, especially Sherry and I, but many others are realizing all these years, all these decades since the Federal Reserve Act and the income tax came into being, the government and the powers that be seem to have been content with just harvesting us like silkworms, just taking our money, our blood, sweat, and tears, and then they move to wanting us dead.
Where are you on that? Do you know anything about the central bank digital currency, Joe and Dr. Sherry?
A little bit. I mean, I like your attitude that, we shouldn't let it paralyze us. I mean, I do believe that look at how the Federal Reserve snaked in the Federal Reserve Act and what they had planned, and how I'm sure what they had planned has come to fruition in more than their wildest dreams. So they've got the time and the money and the resources to plan and figure out how to outsmart us, but eventually the truth does prevail. So I like your attitude to not not get too freaked out about it, but on the other hand, keep an eye on the enemy and what they're up to, and know that in the past they've been pretty successful in pulling one over on us.
The
Sherry?
key word is the past, and the past is the past. And the people who are running the world have lost a lot of power. They're about to go down. We're literally moments away from seeing the credits of this movie playing out. I don't believe there's going to be an election in 2024. Where do you stand on that, Joe and Sherry, both?
Go ahead, Sherry, because I was filibustering before.
Well, I've actually heard that, and the way things are going, then I'm not going to bet against you at all. I understand the central bank digital currency. I've heard people that are involved in it talk about it, how great it's going to be. I know what you're talking about, Yuval Harari, and he's the guy that calls us useless eaters. The central bank digital currency is all about control. If we were to get into something like that, we would be slaves. I have an innate hatred for slavery. Obviously, you know why. And that's not something that's a hill that I'll die on right there, because you're not going to be able to tell me that I can't buy certain things or I can't go to certain places, because I'm a free person. I have unalienable rights, not inalienable, unalienable. That means that my rights cannot be liened by anybody. They come from God and not man. So no, that central bank digital currency will not work. And I believe that, even if some of the people that are sheeple go for it, there are a whole lot of people that understand what's going on, and it's not going to work.
Yeah, I might.